In this video, I'm going to run a chi-square analysis using a set of SPSS data that you can see here, which I derived from the Youth Press Behavioral Survey of Guilford County Middle School students. The research question that I'll be using is there a relationship between a middle school student who has ever been bullied on a school property and if they have ever tried to kill themselves? Before I run the test, we need to make sure that the question qualifies for the chi-square test. And we know that for a chi-square test, there has to be two nominal or ordinal variables in the question. So let's look at the question and figure out if there are two nominal or ordinal variables. Questions such as whether or not they have ever been bullied on a school property is a yes or no question, so it's a nominal variable. And a question such as if they ever try to kill themselves is also a nominal variable, which is a yes or no question as well. Therefore, now that we know that the question constitutes of two nominal variables, we can go ahead and conduct the chi-square test. For that, I'm going to click Analyze, Descriptive Statistics, and Crosstabs. I'm going to put back these values. And so for the row section and column section, we don't have to worry about where to put what. We can just randomly put those two values. And the question that I need is question 19. Have you been ever bullied on a school property? I'm going to put that on the row section. And the other one we need is 27. Have you ever tried to kill yourself? So I'm going to put that on the column section. I'm going to click on statistics and make sure that the chi-square box has been checked. Hit continue. Go to cells and make sure that the observed and expected counts are checked. This helps us to see the data that we observe from the data that is run, and then the expected count, which tells us about the null hypothesis that there is no relationship. And I'm also going to look at the column percentages to give us a clearer idea of the data. Hit continue and then press OK. So this is the data that has been run. The first table shows us the total number of students, 2,673 students who participated in this research question, and 44 of them which are missing. The second table here shows us the observed counts of the questions answered by these students that are yeses or nos, and the expected count that tells us that tries to prove that there is no relationship. But before that, I'm going to go ahead and look at the chi-square test. The chi-square test table, because it is the most important table that tells us about the relationship, whether or not a relationship is significant. So I'm going to look at the Pearson chi-square value, which is 18.869. However, the number that we're most concerned about is the asymptotic two-sided significance. This tells us about the relationship. So p-value less than 0.005 is considered statistically significant. Therefore, since this p-value is 0.000, we can say that there is a statistically significant relationship between students who try to kill themselves and students who have been bullied on campus. So if we go back up to the output table, we can see that the expected count is what we expect to see if the null hypothesis was true. But this is not very close to the actual count. So the expected count is 60.7 and the actual count is 87, which is the expected count is much higher. And then for no, the expected count 109.3 is much higher than the actual count, which is 83. So the differences in these counts lets us reject the null hypothesis that says that there is no relationship, and then expect the research hypothesis that tells us that there is a statistically significant relationship between students who try to kill themselves and students who've been bullied on a school property. Therefore, this is how we run the chi-square test.